It's been a week since I played last, so I do not remember 100% what we were up to. I know we were heading towards a flashpoint and doing missions along the way. I remember my character got injured, so going to be out on this planet. I don't remember how many contracts there are left to do on this planet. Maybe one or two, maybe none. I don't really know. We'll find out. Hopefully we don't have any issues with the bitrate. Last time I streamed, which was Thursday, there was a lot of problems. I did everything I could to try and mitigate that kind of stuff. So restarted my computer, reset the router, all that kind of stuff. But I honestly think that a lot of that stuff was on Twitch's side, because I was hearing from other content creators complaints of issues. So maybe that's the case. Maybe it isn't. Who knows? Alrighty. So yeah, I'm out of action for 16 days. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the contract so we have an idea of like what's going on here. So there's an ambush convoy. I'm more than likely not going to do missions like this because I just don't think my squad's capable of doing it at the moment. We have destroy base. That's capable. We're capable of doing that. We have a battle. We're also capable of doing that. Another ambush convoy and another ambush convoy. Although this is a travel mission. So really, we just have these two missions left over I don't think we'll want to do. Take a look at our mech warriors, just make sure we're good to go there.
Waiting for orders.
So Freak has 4,800 points, so we're 100 away from being able to get this ability, which we're very much looking forward to get.
Reading you.
Warrior has very few. Hello, Ursi. I think we're using Pyramid. He's one of our newer recruits, and then Stargazer is another one of our pilots. And again, we're trying to get 4,900 points here. All right, so that's pretty much that. Let's go ahead and pick up our next contract. Oh yeah, mechs. Are we good on mechs? Any damaged? Not that I can see. We have a few that we have to load out, but we don't have the time yet. When we travel, we'll do that kind of stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and pick up our next contract. I figure we do the destroy base one at half a skull. That one will be nice and, you know, quick and get it over with. So let's go. I don't know. Can you hear that? I guess you can. I was wondering if the mic was even picking up the snapping fingers. You'll have to let me know. All right, let's go ahead and negotiate. So salvage isn't bad. It's hard to say with a mission like this if we'll even get that much salvage, though. So I'm going to go for more money here. And then the loadout we've been doing is more than likely going to be fine. Yeah, you heard it. All right, cool. Not something really I do much, so never really know. All right, let's go ahead and deploy. We're getting a pretty good primary squad of mech warriors. Really, where we're behind the 8-ball is our mechs. But we're this close to having the pilots where we need them to be from a doctrine standpoint. We just don't have the mechs for our doctrine. And then the other thing about our doctrine is it's going to be very much a mid-game doctrine. Not so good in the like later part of the late game. And I am seeing some drop frames here and bitrate going down. So hopefully that only happens rarely. I really hope that's not an internet service provider issue. I really hope it isn't. Maybe we have to have a talk with them. I mean, there was stormy weather, but it's been a couple days at this point. And I think I've been noticing issues even before then, so I hope it's not an internet service provider thing. I mean, it wasn't a big blip, but it's almost returning to the days where I had my previous internet service provider. Now, maybe not that bad, but the last stream I did, I dropped like maybe 2,000 frames, which is not a good sign. The captured base is just ahead, Commander. Now, it was a 6-hour stream, though, so... okay. Move in and engage the base defenses and start the demolition. Forces that captured the base are still on site, so be ready for opposition.
Ah, the mercenary life. Traveling to...
Okay, so again, this is a moon base, so there's not a whole lot in the way of cover. We just have to use the line of sight to the best of our ability. So I'm just going to go down this road, I guess.
Coordinates received.
There may be turrets. We've had turrets on every other base expedition, and there's the pylons where they would be. How many buildings do we have to destroy? 6? That's quite a lot. More than we've had to do in the past. We'll have you kind of peel off a little bit.
We're rolling.
Alright. You can go down the main road. As can you.
Acknowledged.
Alright, so we have contact. How close are we to that contact? Not that close. May be able to see me, may not. Depends on what their speed is. Just gonna go ahead and reserve. If they see me, that would be a little bit of a problem as far if there are turrets and they have any LRMs. Yeah, they do see me. Thankfully, I had a lot of evasion, so they did not hit. Alright, spider. Will the jump jets get me any closer? Oh, they sure will. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and focus on the Panther as it has no... It's the thing seeing me, so that's one reason we'd want to go after it, but it also has no defense at the moment, no damage reduction or anything, so it just has the evasion. And these small lasers are going to be good for punching through that evasion stuff, because they don't really care too much about evasion. Like, if you look at the numbers here, right? So what is the modifier we're getting? Just target size, that's it. Whereas the medium laser has to worry about the target moving, which is the evasion. So small lasers never have to care about that. It's one of the main advantages to them. Now, whether or not they're going to hit is another matter, but they did indeed hit. We managed to get a head hit as well. So maybe a pilot incapacitation is in the order for us. We'll have to see.
Let's do this.
I really don't want to be seen by that other mech if I can avoid it. Because if we can take this guy out... You know, the Commander has a lot of firepower on tap. Maybe we wait for Stargazer.
Yes, Commander.
And use somebody like Lawyer, who has very good accuracy. Maybe jump jets again are in order here. So we can get a little closer. Get our medium lasers in there.
Lifting off.
Of course, this is also vacuum of space, so our heat efficiency is not as good, so we do have to worry about that. These moons are just not good to fight on in a lot of ways.
Firing.
Good, the good stuff landed. The large laser and the AC-5, that's what we want to have happen. And we got an SRM-4 crit, which is good.
Scored a critical hit.
I'm ready.
For those of you that don't know as much about this game, crits are good insofar as they make the accuracy of whatever weapon you hit go down. If you crit it more than once, I think 2 crits will destroy the weapon. I'm not 100% on that, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. Also, we've removed the central torso armor, so if we can get more hits there, that will be a kill. There are 3 ways to kill a mech. Well, 4 ways technically, but if we're talking about the mech itself, destroying its head, destroying both legs, or destroying the center torso. Center torso is the most likely thing to be destroyed because damage will transfer once a part gets destroyed. So you hit the arm and blow it up, that will transfer to the attached torso section. So let's say it's a right arm, it'd go to the right torso. Once the right torso is gone, it would go into the center torso. So eventually, even if you're hitting the spot where that right torso would be, you're going to hit the center torso if the right torso is not there, if that makes sense. So that's why center torso is always going to be the most commonly thing destroyed, because just beating up a mech over and over and over again, eventually you're just going to get that center torso.
Standing by.
That's probably good right there. We may or may not get the kill on the Panther. We've done some pretty good damage to it, but a lot of it just depends on the locations of our damage. Yeah, we got a good hit on that center torso, but just not enough damage to knock it out, because we needed like 50-something, and we ended up getting 40-something.
Warriors, show 'em what you got.
Apparently there are no turrets. The Spider or the Commando can take this guy out. I think we go with the Commando here, because we can get that evasion up. Well, you can cook a mech to destruction, but the overheating damage is just going to be applied like any other damage, but it will go through armor. So it's going to, there's 2 types of there's 2 things you damage. There's armor and there's internal structure. Armor is always going to be what you hit first. Now, if something overheats, the armor is ignored, it goes straight internal. So you could cook a mech alive. The 4th way you can get rid of a mech is by killing the pilot. Pilots can get damage many different ways. They are, anytime you hit the head, that will do a damage to the pilot. Anytime the mech falls down, that does damage to the pilot. Anytime the left or right torso gets blown up, that's a pilot hit. I think ammo explosions cause pilot hits as well, but I'm not positive of that. That's where the tabletop game is more speaking. And yeah, my bitrate is not doing so hot. I hope you guys aren't having too much problems with the stream. But it is what it is right now. I'm fairly certain we'll get the kill. I mean, we don't need a whole lot of damage here to kill this thing, so I'm not going to waste my precision strike here. Maybe that's a bad call, but
Roger that.
we have a lot of damage incoming here, and it was not enough. That sucks. We did knock out the Panther's main way of doing damage, but it could still punch me. Oh, there's another Panther. Ooh, and it landed with its big damage. Fortunate. I really don't want this Panther to be able to do a whole lot.
Something I can do.
I'm thinking, this may be an not accurate thinking, but I'm thinking that there is not any turrets. This is going to be tricky to pull off in a way that makes sense. Trying to get in on his side, but also get up some semblance of evasion. Because spiders do not have much in the way of armor. We're attacking a new side, so this may not actually kill him. Again, the front probably was the wiser thing to attack. We did just destroy the leg. This might be a third pilot hit and may kill the pilot. Yeah, pilot dead. So that knocks that guy out. We will get more salvage out of that as well. And that's why the different types of kills, there's actually advantages to them. If you get the head kill or the pilot kill, you're going to get the most salvage. If you get the legs chopped out, you get not as much salvage, but a little bit more. Center torso is going to give you the least amount of salvage. So that's why the different types of kills do matter. But yeah, that's normally kind of how it works. All right, so this Panther is definitely... Yeah. Well, it's turn-based, so hopefully, yeah, the bitrate isn't too much of an issue in that regard, too, because there's only motion every so often. All right, so we're overheating, so jump jets is probably a bad idea. If I remember correctly with this mech, what does this do? Radiation field? Yeah, we don't want to be in that. That would be bad for us. We can move right here, though. Yeah, there we go. So I don't know if you guys can see the range brackets here. It's oftentimes hard to tell when you have multiple weapons, but when you see that arc, if I zoom in, you'll probably be able to see it a little bit better. You'll see that there's some rings. That first ring is for the small laser, and that's the extent of its range. That's as far as it can go. The next ring out you see, that's the medium laser, but that's the medium laser's shortest range bracket, and then it can reach out again further than that, which I don't know. This one's a little bit more faint, but you just my mouse is on it. That's a long range for the medium laser. So most weapons will have a close and a long range bracket. When you're closer in, your accuracy is better than when you're long range. I think that's pretty self-explanatory, but I just, you know, sometimes it may not be as clear why I'm positioning a certain way. And that's why I am. It's to get the better accuracy with some of my shorter range weapons. We're going to turn off one medium laser so we're not overheating, because every time we overheat, we take internal structure damage. And also there's a chance we cook off our ammo. If we cook off our ammo explosions are terrible. They do a lot of damage to you. Now, if this was like the tabletop game, it would be a death, and like my mech would be dead. This game's not as harsh on the ammo explosions, but it's still a devastating thing to happen to you. You're more than likely going to lose whatever section that ammo is in, and we really wouldn't want that to happen. So, in my opinion, you can risk heat damage if it's really important that you get that damage, but if you have ammo-dependent weapons, I would caution you doing that, because you always have that chance that your ammo is going to cook off. I don't know exactly how it is done in this game. The tabletop, the higher your heat, the more chance the ammo is going to cook off. I really don't know how they do it in this, because the way that they do heat is slightly different.
Gotcha.
All three hit. And we got the right torso section off. When you right torso or left torso is lost, the attaching arm goes too. That's one of the reasons why taking out the side torso sections is oftentimes a good target for you if you're trying to reduce the firepower of the enemy mech. In this case, that was perfect because the main damage that a Panther can do is in the right arm, that PPC. So by eliminating the right torso, you eliminate the attached right arm, which is where that PPC is. So sometimes that's a big thing. And you can always tell, if you right-click on anything, you can always tell where weapon systems are by just hovering over the body location. It tells me the PPC is in that right arm, and it's blacked out. That means it's been destroyed, which we see confirmation of that. The PPC is in red, meaning it's been destroyed. So the only weapon this mech now has is the SRM-4, which is in the center torso. Now, that's a lot harder to knock out because it's in the center torso. You knock out the center torso, the thing's dead anyway, so what difference does it make? So the only way we're really going to be knocking out that SRM-4 is if we get a lot of crits.
Waiting for orders.
All right, so here we have a problem. You see this band here where my mouse is on? That's the minimum range of the LRM. Now, what does that mean? With minimum range weapons, weapons that have a minimum range, if you get too close, they become inaccurate. The closer you are, the more inaccurate they are. But if you look at the LRM, the chance for it to hit, it's at 30%. It has a pretty bad accuracy modifier by me being within this minimum range. But if I were to move here, a little further back, there. Now we're beyond that minimum range. Note that the LRM is a lot more accurate. It's at 60%. So, but the trade-off is now we're long range for our medium lasers, so their accuracy is worse. So the question is, which one do we want to have more accuracy with? So there's kind of a trade-off there. This is only an LRM-5, so the max damage it's going to do is 20, whereas a medium laser would do 25. So in that regard, the medium laser is the better weapon right now. Also, the medium laser has more focus damage. It's going to hit one location, where with an LRM-5, you have 5 missiles. Each of those are going to hit in a different spot, so your damage is much more dispersed. So that's a lot of the strategy of this game, is kind of like figuring out like your positioning, what weapons to use in a given situation, making sure you wrangle your heat and get not too overheated. In this case, I'm turning off the LRM-5 because it's not very likely that it's going to hit, and that's heat we don't need. So we're better off just attacking without it. And more than likely, well, not necessarily more than likely, but there's a good chance we would have overheated with that LRM-5 anyway. So let's just go ahead and fire what we got. Now, I could have used Precision Strike there, and that probably would have been a good call, considering it would have boosted our accuracy quite a bit. It also would have harmed the initiative of my opponent. So that's another consideration.
How's it going?
So that might be something we do now. I might use that opportunity now, because by me knocking back its initiative, that allows all of my mechs that are light mechs to go before it gets a chance to go. Now, if I were to just attack and not use a Precision Strike, it wouldn't be bumped down in initiative, and it would immediately get to move after me. Now, there's a chance I kill it with this attack, so the Precision Strike would be wasted, but I could ensure that death is more likely by getting the Precision Strike. Now, what does the Precision Strike do?
Position confirmed.
The Precision Strike makes my attacks more precise. I know that's self-explanatory, but it also allows me to do a cold shot. So I get to pick. Now I'm going to overheat here quite a lot, so maybe this is actually not a bad call because I'm going to have to turn off a lot of my weapons. I get to pick what area I am aiming for. Now, it doesn't mean that I will hit that area. It just means that I'm more likely going to hit that area than I would normally. So I'm going to aim for the center torso because we're looking for a kill. In theory, if all of my missiles landed, all of these SRM missiles landed, we would get the kill. Not likely going to happen, but there's a chance at it. There's also a chance we'd get the crits on the SRM-4, which would reduce the guy's firepower even more so. So that's why I'm going to do that. It would have been nice to get more weapons fired off, but that's okay. Unfortunately, we critted a heat sink. Now, that's just going to affect the enemy's ability to sink heat.
Orders.
In other words, to remove the heat that we've done to them. So we're going to finish this off with the spider. Hopefully. I mean, the spider is heating up here. Again, we're on a moon. The heat efficiency of our mechs are very much affected, but we don't have a lot of heat on our spider if we're not jumping around. So it looks like we can get away with it. We do have another Precision Strike we could do. We may or may not get the kill with that. It's really up to us. Do we want to waste it? I say we do it. Because it just makes it a little bit more likely we get those hits where we need them. That might get it? Yeah. Because he only had, I think, 18 hit points, and a small laser does 20. So we just needed the one hit. But you saw there, Precision Strike. I think we had a 33% chance to get the Precision Strike where we wanted it. So 3 weapons were fired, 1 hit. So that was actually perfect probability for us. I don't want to run through this radiation zone, so... Hell, I'll jump over it. At the moment, we're not in combat. So we can move around here a little bit more. Because there's no targets within our radar range. It's possible there is no enemy presence whatsoever. I'm not sure if I believe that or not.
Moving to position.
I'm gonna move a little bit more conservatively with the spider. If you only do a jump or a move order, it's a half action, so you get to use your other action doing a brace command, which gives you 25% damage reduction, which is what I'm doing right now. Ando, I think we'll do the same. Just do a walk.
Got it.
Again, it's very likely that there is no more enemy presence. Then again, there may be with the turrets and what have you. We're just too far away to really be in range of them yet. But that is something we have to consider. So I'm going to go with Freak first. Now, as far as radar range goes, you'll see this blue halo there. That's my radar range. So I think if I just do a normal move here, not quite, maybe a jump. Yeah, we'd get that turret and radar range, it looks like. Yeah, that'll get in range. So if there's a turret there, we'll know.
Confirmed.
Yeah, there is. That's to be expected. Now, at this point, turrets always go at the worst initiative that they possibly can.
Rolling.
So as a result, we know we're going to have the initiative advantage, so we can move pretty aggressively here. I don't expect there's going to be anything other than turrets at this point.
Location confirmed.
Otherwise, I think we would have heard something from the enemy by now. All right, so we're just going to get our lighter mechs a little closer. Turrets are fairly easy to kill as well. They don't, especially when they have half armor. When they're these lighter turrets, because they don't have a lot of health, they're not moving. They don't move, so they're really easy to hit.
What's up, Commander?
I want to get my small laser in range. Should do it. I'm not sure I'd be able to get the kill or not. We'll find out. So far, I only see 3 turrets.
Heading out.
Now, the trick is we have to get them in view for our heavier mechs to be able to do anything. So maybe this move isn't the wisest. But we killed one of them.
Got him.
Now, depending on what these turrets are, which we really honestly don't know what they are, they may or may not be able to do anything to me. Yeah, I think it's going to be tough for me to get those other turrets in vision, but it does appear that there are 4 turrets because there's one back here as well. So, that'll probably do. Yeah.
Copy that.
We've had plenty of opportunity to cool off. This is a lot more firepower coming, so pretty good chance we knock this guy out. We could use vigilance to try and give ourselves some protection on our commando. I think that's a good call.
Giving them everything I've got.
Yeah. We more than enough killed this thing. My bigger mechs will not be able to get within vision of the other turrets, so we just have to hope that they don't really have anything that they can do to us. Instead, I'm just going to walk up and just attack one of these buildings, because that's our other objective.
I'm walking here.
The medium building will have less hit points. That's also harder for me to hit, huh? Because it's probably the range. We're more than likely not going to take out whatever building we fire at anyway, so just go at it.
I'm reading heavy damage to an enemy structure.
They probably have like, what, 150 hit points or something like that? It's quite possible that one turret will be able to do something to me. Because what they'll have to do is they'll have to sensor lock one of my mechs so that they can see it, because currently they don't have a direct line of sight. And then the other one would have to attack it, and that's assuming that they even can. Go ahead and try and finish this one off.
Target confirmed.
Again, I don't think I have enough damage output to finish it, but
Come on, people.
get it burning.
Let's make it happen.
Okay, so clearly they really couldn't do anything. Question is, can I do anything? Oh, we're on initiative 5. Because I use vigilance, vigilance gives you more initiative. You have sensor lock, do you not? Alright. Don't think that really helps me, though. So I'm just gonna move up. We're gonna take out that building we've already damaged. I will turn off the SRM-6 because we probably don't need it.
Locked on target.
Structure down.
Alright, one building down. We're blowing up the turrets, even though we don't need to.
Good to go.
Because it will help. Possibly as a bonus. Sometimes you get bonuses for taking out the turrets. This will heat us up quite a bit because we jumped quite far. But this will probably get us a kill.
Giving them everything I've got.
Yeah, if they're just these light laser turrets, they need direct line of sight to be able to do anything, which is why they probably didn't do anything.
I'm your spaniel.
Alright. Keep moving and take out the next building. Hopefully the medium one is in better range, yeah. Get a full salvo on that. More than likely take it out. Oh, just shy. That's okay.
Commander?
Keep walking up.
Coordinates
So I'll do a split fire here. Yeah, okay. So A and B. We'll have B go after the A. Yeah, that like that.
Split
The large laser should take out the other building, and then we'll damage this one. Okay.
failed to connect.
This one's going to be trickier to get a line of sight on.
Yeah.
My spider is starting to really overheat, so I'm not going to be able to jump around as much. I could use sensor lock on it, but the problem is, no, it's too far away. What do we got? Large, medium. Medium, huh? Alright, we'll go after this medium building,
Problem.
as it will have less hit points. Oh, we're gonna overheat with that, huh? Turn off the medium laser, just fire the small
I'm gonna
lasers.
make some trash.
Alright.
Commander.
Now, Stargazer... Good sensor lock, but again, most of my mechs need a direct line of sight, so it's not gonna really do me a whole lot of good. Let's try and go after that medium building that we've already done some damage to.
Location confirmed.
Again, we're overheating here, so... Gonna be tough to get a lot of damage out.
Target acquired.
Wait, what? We missed with both of those? You need to check your eyesight, man.
Advantage. Ready for orders.
Just keep walking up here.
Acknowledged.
I'm gonna focus... This might be a split shot. You're gonna be A, you're gonna be... Oh, I can't see you. Well, we gotta hit something else. I think this is a medium building, so it should be easier to take down as well.
Roger that.
Yeah, not quite enough damage, but... Oh well. Start on this one. Okie dokie.
Waiting for orders.
Where can walk up?
Rolling.
How much health do you have? I can't make that out because my camera's always in the way. So I'm just going to have to do best guess here. We'll make you A, you B. B will be AC5. I'll do the large laser too.
Copy that, Commander.
We keep missing the buildings. Again, not really sure how you accomplish that, but... This building would have been down if all those medium lasers earlier hadn't missed. Alright.
Waiting for orders.
So I'm trying to get vision on this guy over here. Which we can do if we move the right spots. Okay, that will do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and move here. Be able to take out one building, but we also get vision on this guy here. We've got a what? A light shredder turret. Now, problem is I may not be able to follow up, so that might have been a dumb idea, but... Okay. Guy out.
Got him.
Hey, did that not kill it? What did I fire at it? Did I fire everything? Or did I mess that up? Oh yeah, Stargazer.
Standing by.
Okay. Can't really get in anywhere. Really help out. Guess we'll move here. And we'll just try and take out this other building.
On the move. Locking on target.
Alright. I'll try and use the Vindicator to take out that turret, but it's actually possible I will not be able to get into position to do so. Like there, we get direct line of sight, but I don't know how much heat we're going to have to be able to really smack this thing.
Affirmative.
And we've done so well. Any internal damage will require a repair, so we really don't want that. So you can't just throw caution to the wind here and go, okay, yeah, I can't fire a single thing at this thing without overheating. I guess I can fire the LRM-5. So that was a bad idea. We're more than likely going to get hit here. If I wasn't overheating like this, in theory, I would have been able to do something different, but... Alright, we're going to use multi-target here to take out a couple buildings at once. So you're going to be A, you're going to be B, and B's are going to be that.
Gotcha.
Please don't miss. Thank you. That should get the kill on the building. And we wasted some damage there, but I just want to make sure it went down. Alright, so we are going to get shot at.
Heyday.
Thankfully, a lot of it missed because of our evasion.
So far, so good.
Alright, come here.
Yes, Commander.
You can only fire a medium laser, but at least you can get in there and do something.
Firing.
My pilot's missing stationary targets.
Waiting for orders.
Okay, now it's your turn to miss the stationary target. Although, again, you're overheating like massively, so I don't know how much of this we're going to get off. We're going to get a single medium laser.
Copy that.
Alright.
Waiting for orders.
So this would be a building we've damaged. We do still have to pick another building. We'll go with Freak first. Just try and get in here and do what we can. Okay, 2 medium lasers it is.
Got it, Commander.
That did it. Alright, cool. Honestly, if that spider had landed, we wouldn't have even probably needed to do that. Okay, now lawyer, come on up. And just take out this other building.
There.
Matter of fact, this thing probably doesn't have a lot of hit points left. How about what the hell? Just fire in case you miss. Oh, okay, never mind. We have to turn off the large laser.
Engaging target.
And I think we're just shy of killing it. Oh no, it blew up. Alright, one building left.
Down.
These are all large military buildings. This one's closest to all of our mechs, though, so...
How's it going? Coordinates received.
The question is, how many weapons can we even fire with the heat that we have? 2? You know what? SRM instead? Yeah, that'll do more damage.
Affirmative.
Still a lot of missing here.
Receiving you.
Those small lasers in there. Okay, we can get the whole fire on. All of it. Good job, Spider.
Standing
Lawyer
by.
is the most accurate of our pilots, so most likely going to be able to do a lot of damage. Question is, again, heat. We're having to turn off still more weapons.
Taking the shot.
I don't think you can step on buildings, which is somewhat of a
I live to serve.
fortunate thing, but
I'm going.
okay, medium laser, large laser instead. We can just pull that off.
Locking target.
That should do it. There we go.
Get your lance to the LZ commander. I'm coming in hot.
No need, because there is no opposition. Alright. See, it was good that I turned down the salvage, because there wasn't much salvage there. I don't think there's going to be. I don't think you get anything from the turrets. Maybe you do. I don't know. We'll find out. But we did get a lot of bonuses, and the bonuses matter more, obviously, the more money you're getting paid. So, a 35% bonus is pretty nice. Okay. Continue. Everybody gets 500 experience. That's more going to matter for Freak, who is only 100 experience away from what we wanted. Alright, so we get a lot of Panther parts. But let's see, yeah. Outside of that, we just have heat sinks and jump jets, which are not really ideal because we already probably have way more than we need of that. So there we go. We got 2 Panther parts and then heat sinks and jump jets and some ammo. So there's not a lot of salvage there. So if I'd taken higher salvage, it would have been a waste. You could always sell the salvage you don't need, but it's all good. And that's one of the reasons why, like, doing missions like this can be not as good, because that mission was really drawn out for how simple it was. It was not difficult for us, but we had to blow up all the buildings and stuff and take apart the turrets and all that, so took a lot of time. Okay, let's take a look at our last contract here. Oh, actually, no, let's go to the mech warriors first. Make sure we get that experience into Freak, I believe. So now you have the Ace ability, Ace Pilot, yeah. So what this does is it allows you to attack first, and then you can move afterwards as long as you haven't moved yet. This is a very good ability, because normally, as soon as you attack, your turn's over. So this is really good if you want to use a mobile style of combat, which we're definitely going for.
Training
All right.
complete.
And every pilot can only have 3 abilities. You have 2, I don't know what there's a term that they call them. I don't know if they're secondary abilities or what, but you get these first 2 that you get, and then you get a 3rd one, but it can only be within the path of the 2 you selected before. So an example, if we look at Lawyer,
Yes, Commander.
Lawyer can either take this one or this one, not both. So, and then again, 3 is your maximum, so that's pretty much like how that works.
Yeah.
And because this pilot only has 1, we have pretty much all the paths open, but as soon as we take one of these other ones, the path is set in stone. That makes sense. Okay. Let's do the last contract I feel like doing here, which is a battle contract against the Canopians. It pays all right. Salvage isn't so good. It's a 1 skull. It's lunar, which pretty much all of the ones have been here, because that's the environment we're on. So we're going to have to definitely deal with heat. Let's go ahead and negotiate. I think I'd rather have the money than the salvage, because again, I'm not convinced the salvage is going to be all that good. Although 7 things versus 5, I mean, there is definitely a thing there, but let's just go with it. Okay, so this is the lands we used last time. I think it's perfectly fine, because Pyramid's a little behind as far as being able to hit stuff. The Spider actually works really well for him. Anyway, the Spider runs cooler than the Commando. Wouldn't make sense to give him the 1M, although I don't remember how we spec'd out the 1M. I guess we spec'd it out for a bunch of small lasers and stuff too, right? We didn't spec it out as it normally would be, which would be long-range missiles. All right, here we go.
Command interface.
It's amazing how much quicker that is when you have it on a nice, fast SSD. The game, that is. Commander, you've arrived in the region where the enemy was last detected. Move forward and clear them out. We shouldn't let any of them get away if we can help it.
Jeez.
But these battle missions
What is
are,
this place?
unless you have reinforcements, which is going to double the number of opponents sometimes that you have to face, potentially. As long as that doesn't happen, these battle missions are usually, I'm not going to say the easier ones to do, but they're the better ones from like a get in, get out kind of standpoint. Like they're nicer for you to take. How far away are we? Not far away. So it's possible we get a sensor contact this turn. I'm actually... Oh, I do need a direct line of sight here. I guess we just move forward.
I'm there.
Onward.
Now we're going to have... The trick is remembering that...
Heading out.
that Freak has that ability now, because we haven't had it all this time, so we have to now be prepared for it. Alright, so there's a possibility we contact the enemy this turn. We're not that far away from them. And if they have lighter mechs that move directly at me... Oh, okay, never mind. So we're just shy, being where we need to be. I'm gonna go ahead and use jump jets here. That way we get good evasion, but we also get decent defense. And I don't think it will heat me up, because there was nothing on the heat scale. Do the same thing for Freak. And I'll use the Spider to continue to try and kind of flank here. I'm thinking if I'm reading this ridge right, we would not have... We'd be behind that ridge and not be seen. It's gonna be trickier with the Commando.
I've got eyes on hostile reinforcements.
Because the Commando does need direct line of sight to be effective. Probably just keep it back a little bit, only do a single move so we get that damage reduction in case it is attacked. Ideally, we want them to attack our medium mechs if they attack anything at all.
Sensors have something.
Okay. So our opponents appear to be 3 light mechs that we can see so far. There may be another medium mech, or it could just be entirely a lance of light mechs. If this mech can crest this ridge, then yeah, there it is. Okay, we did have good evasion though, but now we know that the enemy can see me and has direct line of sight. Now there's nothing we can do about it because we reserve, so every light mech can now do what it needs to do. That ridge might still protect me though. If they have LRMs, they have LRMs, but if they're all light mechs, which it appears they are, the likelihood of that is very low. One of my most anticipated mechs, or one of the mechs that I would really love for them to add into this game, is the Valkyrie, which is a nice light mech with LRMs, very effective. Trying to get as much evasion out of this as I can without jumping. And get into rear armor, which would be nice. I mean, that would devastate a mech this light. But it would leave me out in the open where this mech would be able to do stuff to me next turn. I feel like we just go with what's effective, though. Everything else be damned. We can wreck this guy. I don't know if this is enough damage, but this is a Locust after all. I think we're fine firing the medium laser, even though it has a very low chance to hit.
Locking in all weapon systems.
Alright. Now these guys have... They do have reduced armor, but not as much as we've seen in the past. Once we get higher up in these difficulties, we will see that more often, where it's going to be full armor.
I'm your spaniel.
This Locust is the one that makes the most sense to go after. But a lot of it is also down to... maybe a sensor lock here? Sensor lock on the Locust so that my other mechs can finish it off. Because these guys are going to be too hard to hit. This is the only spot I think I can get a sensor lock. We'll give it a go. That will burn through most of its evasion. And we have Lawyer. Move. This is still going to be a hard... excuse me. Still going to be a hard shot. I might do a split target here. I do a normal movement that would make kind of sense for that. Maybe something like that. We go after the locust as a multi-target, but then we also go after... I'll decide once I move up. This is going to put the enforcer in kind of a vulnerable position, but... Okay, so we've got pretty much the locusts and commandos, what we're looking at. I think we go after this one. So, multi-target, you're going to be A. Still pretty hard to hit you. You're going to be B.
Split fire. Confirmed.
That's actually very lucky that we hit with any of that. We did manage to blow its leg off, because again, locusts don't have a lot of armor. So that does give me a lot of possibility
I'm ready.
of knocking that mech out. Okay, so we're gonna swing around here. It's gonna be another multi-target situation. So you're gonna be A, you're gonna be B. Now, normally you can get a cold shot on a downed mech, but when you multi-target like this, you waive that ability more or less. So
Multi-attack is go.
it's just gonna land where it lands. Managed to knock out its right torso, which is gonna reduce its firepower. Not a lot though, because it's just a locust, so all it has in that arm is a machine gun.
Time.
It being knocked down made it worse in initiative, so it will go later. So this is where they're going to beat on my enforcer, because the enforcer has very low evasion and has no damage reduction, so they'll be doing full damage. Of course, as they do that, they'll be opening themselves up without much protection themselves.
Good to go.
You do 30 damage as a melee, which means that you do more damage meleeing than you do shooting your weapons, which is actually a rare thing to see. Now that will open me up to attacks, like really it will, because I will have no evasion myself. So we kind of don't want to do that. The problem is, how do we keep evasion and keep our weapons in range? Not really something we can easily do. That's one of the reasons why the ace pilot ability is so valuable, because I could attack at this point blank range and then move and get my evasion. It's one of the banes of the light mechs when you don't have very skilled pilots, is that it's very difficult to keep that initiative up, because they're most effective with more weight efficient weapons that tend to be shorter range. Alright, now we get to do our called shot because we're only attacking one target. I'm just gonna go center torso and hope for the kill. Okay, we hit with most of it, and we did get the kill. Perfect. The only problem is the follow-up from my opponent. What is it gonna be? Now, I'm not surprised here to see the enforcer continue to be the target that they go after. They are chewing through its armor pretty good there. That's why damage reduction is pretty important. I'm gonna go ahead and reserve here, because it's just one more mech to go, and
watch out.
oh, you went in the radiation zone. I think it makes them harder to hit, potentially, but there is a downside as well, that they get heat buildup and stuff. Let's just double check that. What all does being in a radiation zone do? This unit moves through intense radiation. It will gain 10 heat on its next activation. Is that it? There's more to it than that.
Ready for order.
Let's see. We can't go in there ourselves, not unless we jump. Let's see what it says. Okay. But adds heat to units passing through it. +4 difficulty hit units standing in a radiation field. So it is harder to hit them. So the locust is more than likely not going to be a target we go after.
Yes, Commander.
Okay. Let's start with Stargazer here.
How's it going?
Reading you.
I could go in and punch. 80% chance it hits. 85% chance the small follow-up small laser does. Now this would do less damage. It'd do 65 as opposed to like the I mean, well over 100 we could do if we hit it with anything else. So probably not ideal. I think we just circle around here. Actually, we want to get that small laser in there. Closer we are, the better off we are. Although the AC-5 doesn't work, but we could multi-target and go after something else. So let's plan for that. Yeah, that will do it. We get the most evasion we can.
Confirmed.
Multi-target. So you're going to be A, you're going to be B, and B's going to just be the AC-5.
Split fire. Confirmed.
Okay, we hit with everything, so that's very good. Knocked out its leg, so it's probably going to die. Perfect. Okay, so Stargazer is a good mech
Let's do this.
to put on the finish. Get it in that nice bracket range.
My way.
I'm tempted to use Vigilance, which would give me an initiative bonus. As well as a protection. Because then we could hit this other commando pretty hard next turn before it gets a chance to go and probably remove a lot of its firepower. So I'm going to go with that. It's going to be difficult to take this guy out. But we could try and reduce his firepower. What do we got? Medium laser. SRM ammo. Right torso is where the large laser is. But you got entirely fresh armor. How much armor are we looking at? I mean, in theory, if we hit this thing pretty damn hard in the right torso, that would do it.
Firing.
Well, we got the left torso anyway, which is fine, and we killed it. So, doesn't matter, it's dead.
Hope we can salvage that.
That was a lot of firepower coming in. Okay, so all that's left is
Wait your
Freak.
command.
Freak is going to look for the commando here. I'm going to try and go an optimum range bracket here, and then I think I'm going to go with the... I don't want this this thing to get in behind me. That will probably do right there. I'm going to use Precision Strike 2 to try and knock him out. If it works, great. We might kill him.
Going.
Yeah, let's go straight center torso, see if we can get the kill.
Bon appetit.
Yeah, got him.
Hostile eliminated.
Okay.
Yes, boss.
We do have a Precision Strike in the cards, so I can probably get a decent amount of damage on this Locust before it gets a chance to go.
Confirmed.
It still will be hard to hit even with the Precision Strike, yeah. Just go center torso, try and get it.
Here we go.
Yeah, we didn't hit it very hard, but... What that means, though... Pyramid can come in. Get those small lasers in. Still very hard to hit because of the damn radiation zone. We're gonna have to turn the medium laser off.
I'm gonna make some trash.
Alright. Fortunately, didn't do a lot to... It's just gonna sit there, so it has no evasion now. I mean, honestly, it's asking for me to come in and punch it.
I live to serve.
Go with the punch. I get heat by being in the radiation zone. Oh wait, I don't have to be in the radiation zone though. We'll move here. You get three. Sometimes you get multiple choices on where you can be when the attack happens. I'm gonna go for a melee attack. This will give us an opportunity to cool off. If it lands, which it didn't, it would have done. Wow, we didn't hit with any of that. That sucks.
That's a miss.
Orders?
Gonna try and get optimum. Is it worth that? Nah, I said we get point blank here. We just mess this guy up.
On my way.
I'm gonna turn the other M5 off. Oh wow. We have not a whole lot of...
Got it, Commander.
Unfortunately, this thing is gonna be able to go again. That melee attack kind of needed to land. It didn't hit a whole lot though.
far so good.
Yeah, I really don't want to fight on a lunar landscape again, because this is
Yes,
like
Commander.
just brutal. The heat and everything. I don't have that bad heat efficiency mechs, and I'm still like getting killed by this heat efficiency. Yeah, I can't fire up that, so we'll just go.
Target.
And the chance to hit this thing is so low, even though it's not moving.
Receiving you.
I think we just go precision strike here, try and knock the bastard out. Again, it's complete waste if I'm only firing one weapon, so screw that. Let's move. This is going to be a really frustrating time, I have a feeling.
On the move. Rear armor it is.
This Locust is going to be like holding out tooth and nail.
Commander.
I'm just going to go in and punch it. I'm going to keep punching it until it goes down
Acknowledged. Engaging.
with my heavier mechs.
I think I hit something good.
Because the melee attack doesn't care about the radiation zone. Unfortunately, she's not the best one to pull this off because she doesn't really have that good a piloting skill. But I really don't care. There we go. It's more fun anyway when you punch him to death.
Show 'em what you got.
Alright, cool.
Mission successful.
I will say, whenever you have a map like that where there's something that makes it harder for you to hit the AI, like, I think there's another thing, it's like a crystal field or something that makes it harder for you to hit them with the range attacks. The enemy will put their mechs in that and like just glue them down in there, so it makes it harder for you to hit them. It's very frustrating sometimes when that happens. I mean, it's kind of a good idea, but okay, we get through without any problems. As far as mech salvage goes, I really don't want any of these mechs. So I'm probably going to take a large laser. Because I don't know how many of these we have. We have 2. We have plenty of medium lasers, so I don't really care about that. And I don't really care about an SRM. So more large lasers I get, I think the better off will be. Okay, well we managed to get a full Commando 1B anyway, so yay! We have another backup mech. We need more medium mechs, though. Especially ones that will fit our doctrine. Because right now, the Enforcer and the Vindicator are really not the mechs we want. They're okay, especially for this early game, but they're not part of the doctrine that we want.
That mech you wanted is back online.
Get another 1B. So we have, what, 3 of these things now? All right, well, that's the last contract for this area. So I'm going to go ahead and go in the mech bay and decide, well, first let's go to where we're going to go. Let's take a look at the star map. First thing we need to do is we need to look around for other flashpoints to see if that's going to differ, like where we want to go. Why are some of these things highlighted? Oh, they're visited. We've been all these places? All right. You say so, game. Yeah, okay. Flashpoints are good. There's just this one. We still have plenty of time to get here, right? 124 days. Plenty of time. Okay, so let's take a look on the filters on the skull places. We want to go here. That's going to take 15 days to get there, so that's our time limit. Whatever work we have done has to happen in 15 days. So there is a limit of how much stuff we can get in here, get done. So let's go into the mech bay. Unfortunately, my pilot will have 1 day still to recover. I might just blow through that day anyway. It doesn't really matter. So 16 days maybe in theory. So 15 days. The Jenner is going to be the highest priority to get loaded out. I have a pretty standard loadout for the Jenner that I think is very effective. And it's fairly easy to do. So The Jenner will have 2 missile slots, 4 energy weapon slots. The energy weapon slots are the most important. Typically, a loadout for the Jenner is 4 medium lasers and an SRM-4. We're not going to do that. As a matter of fact, this is actually a standard, a variant. It's actually a variant that exists. I don't know what the letter number designation is, but there is an actual loadout that is this loadout, and it's perfect. It's a really good variant of this mech. I think it's better than the original. So we're just going to stick with the medium lasers, but we're going to do away with the SRM-4, which is going to save us 3 tons. So we have more or less 3 tons to spare. Now, we do also need the jump jets, which we're going to get. Typically, this thing has 5 jump jets. I don't know where it puts them, but I'll go ahead and I'll put them in all of the different locations they can be in. I don't know. We'll go with that. That way, we can spread out the damage. If a leg gets lost, we don't lose as many jump jets. So this is typically the setup. So you get 3 tons left over. You put all 3 of those tons into armor. It still makes the mech not a very heat efficient mech, but it's a hell of a lot better than it would be normally, because add an SRM-4 on top of this. Let's just do that for the sake of argument, so we can see where the heat would be at that point. That's normally where the heat efficiency is, so only 2 bars, but I mean, that's just like a graphical thing. This is slightly better, so you do improve the heat efficiency, but the other real Achilles heel of the Jenner is it just does not have a lot of armor. So, of course, we're going to increase that. Let's go up to at least 40 in the arms. Maybe 50 in the legs. We'll just kind of play with it from there. So maybe 50 in the torso section, 60 in the center torso. I mean, we have a lot. Sometimes you're going to get flanked when you have a light mech like this. So 25 and 20, that's okay for now. So we still have 1.5 tons, so we still have plenty of room to expand here. Let's go up to 50 in the arms. So we could take a full-on PPC hit into the arm and it would still be there. We go with 60 in the legs, 60 in the side torso sections, and then maybe up to, let's say, 75. Then we'll go 25, 25, 35. Okay, we still have a little bit of tonnage left over. Arms are going to be pretty important for us, because if we lose an arm, we lose our main weapons. So beefing that up makes sense. But also the attaching torso sections are also very valuable to us, because if we lose those, we lose the attached arm. Okay, we only have 1 thing left. I'm going to go ahead and put that into the head. We didn't quite max out the head, which I kind of don't like. It's okay, though. We gave it a little bit more armor than it normally has. So definitely we got more armor in the mech in general than it normally has. And the legs are a little vulnerable, but you don't usually take that many leg hits. Now watch, we'll lose the leg. But again, it's more armor than it had before. I think it had, what, 30 armor in the leg before? So we doubled that. So in my opinion, this is a much better mech. Okay, let's go ahead and confirm that. So it'll take 7 days, so that's almost half the time we have.